Welcome to the Game of Risk, everyone. I'm your host, OliveXC, a top player at this game, and today we are doing Tutor Tuesday, where I review a subscriber game and help them, and you the viewer, get better at the game of Risk. Today's game comes from Uppish Pidgeon, an intermediate to expert level Risk player who's playing on the classic map with progressive settings. And they are in the first position right here. And they have their own YouTube channel with around 100 subscribers, so go check them out after this game. So we can see right here on their first turn that the black player, our protagonist, is going for South America. And if you look, they're actually making a lot of attacks right now, which is not very good. What they're trying to do is they are trying to go for South America. And to do that, they're making a lot of aggressive attacks. This isn't good because in progressive, you want to be able to spread out and then be able to eliminate players for their cards. So if we look at your position, you have a good spot here in North America. You have a good spot right here in Asia, and you have a spot here in South America. You could potentially have a spot as well. Well, with a lot of these big troops right here, there's a good chance that someone's going to try to take over the Africa continent right here. When you go over a continent and try to take over a lot of territories the first turn, you end up losing a lot of troops. So that ends up not being a good decision to be doing that. The other thing you'll notice is that in this game right here, our protagonist has their camera animations on, as well as the phase change animations. This will end up slowing down your game and make it harder to eliminate players when it's worth it for their cards. So I'd recommend just going into your settings on your Risk app and see the button that says camera animations and turn that off right away. That will just be helping you as you are going through the game. The orange player on their turn makes a little bit of a risk going for the Australia continent down here, but I overall like the move, as long as the purple player chooses to not go completely aggressive and to take them out. It's a bit of a risk, but hey, if it works, they'll get extra troops each turn going forward that's going to help them out. The white player on their turn, who isn't really spread out, it looks like they're going for the Europe continent. Now, in very high level play, it's worth it to be spread out around the map as much as possible. However, what I found a lot on ladder in these progressive games, if you can take a continent safely without getting into a conflict with someone else, it can be worth it. This is because if everybody on the board is getting a continent and you're not, unless you get a really key trade in to eliminate someone who maybe has a little bit more troops than you, you'll end up getting very weak and someone may just try to eliminate you at some point. We're going to see something else our protagonist did right here. They left their 3 right here on their fortification, and this caused the red player to want to attack them. Now, there was a bit of like missed diplomacy being done by the black player right here. They should have been fortifying out their 3 into their 5 right here, which is now an 8. If they were to have left their troops all into there, if the red player chose to attack them, well, one thing, they'd be saving more troops, but the red player would also be having a chance to get out of South America. What the red player is basically telling, what the black player was essentially telling red was, hey, I'm going to take out your 3, and not only am I going to do that, I'm not going to allow you to get out either. Understanding the diplomacy in the game and working with players is really key, even in progressive, because you don't want players like acting emotionally and hitting you. Now, when I was listening to the commentary in the game right here, the black player or protagonist was like, I'm going all in on South America no matter what. However, this has a lot of drawbacks right here. When you end up taking the South America continent, you'll be sacrificing a large number of troops. Remember, every time you take and hold South America, you're only going to be getting around 2 extra troops per turn. If you end up sacrificing around 5-6 troops to take over the continent, you are only going to be getting the extra benefit for maybe 2 or 3 turns. And your best case scenario, you are going to be net neutral and your troops gained or lost this game. But in the worst case scenario, it could be like losing additional troops. because by turn 9 to turn 10, most progressive games are over, or the trade-in bonuses are so high that you can't do anything about it. And now look what's happened. You and Red are in an extreme conflict at this point. And because you kept putting troops there, you're kind of in a catch-22. If you don't put any more troops in there, the red player is just going to eliminate you. If you keep putting troops in there, you lose the ability to be spread out. This is why in your initial turns, I think trying to spread out a little more evenly would have made a lot more sense. Or potentially moving your troops from Brazil would have helped out as well. And now you're really escalating the conflict. Even though you were right next to the red player before, when you're right next to them like this, it really exacerbates the tension that is going on right here within the game. The red player, if they feel very threatened, could just do an 11v10, which is a little over 50% chance to be a successful. But if that roll is good and you lose all your troops here, well, suddenly you only have a 4 pocket right here, a 2 pocket right here, and 2 1s right here. You're barely spread out. You have nothing left in Asia because you lost your India position at this time after the purple player did a 5v2 against you, and you're just going to eventually lose the game. You're soon going to be losing this position as well because the white player is going to be taking over the European continent. And this is all because all these things that you're losing right here, and now look, now you're losing your North America position. You're going all in on a continent in South America, and that's just bad. And by the way, what the purple player is doing right here, where they're just haphazardly attacking and making multiple attacks per turn, is really, really bad. They have even less troops right now than our protagonist, the black player. And now if we keep looking at our red player right here, we can see that they're just going all in on the attack. They recognize that you're going to be hitting them. You're both trapped. Purple's leaving their troops right there. Blue's leaving their troops right here. The blue player, I think in particular, is making a really good move leaving their stack right here. They're not attacking you or doing anything to create conflict, but they're forcing you to fight with another player, which is just playing into their hands. If they could then have the opportunity to eliminate the red player later, look, their 7 is connected right next to their 4. Their 3 right here is next to Red's troops right here. They can get a nice kill off, and you're doing the dirty work, taking out half of Red's troops, leaving you crippled and them very strong. From another situation as well, the blue player is also very well lined up against you. They could be going down to hit you right here, and then going down to attack you in Africa, and then hitting you right here. So they're in the strongest position right now to be winning this game. They move down. They make a little bit of a mistake though, moving down into Europe, and this is because the white player will be taking over the region. Now you make, I think, a big critical mistake here. You're starting to really roll the other player down. Now you don't want to be rolling a player because it's very, very risky if you lose the roll. But also from a tactical standpoint, you'll also notice that you're getting some bad dice right here a little bit. When your rolls are around 80 to 90% effective and balanced blitz, you should be blitzing rather than waiting to 100% roll, because balanced blitz gives much higher percentage odds than true random when true random odds are above 50%. So a 90% roll and balanced blitz is like 75% of true random. You made the attack, but look, you have 4 cards, you're down to 11 troops at this point, and you are really, really weak. Black player, if they wanted to, if they had a set, they could immediately trade in, hit downwards right there, fortify out a 3 or 4, and go in and attack and take you out. And it would be a very safe, easy kill. While the cards right now are only a set of a 4, I mean, your value is worth about 8 troops, so it's almost worth it to go for the kill at that time. You also have a set though, so given how weak you are, it's actually going to be worth it for you to be trading in at this time. Because if you don't trade in, you're going to have a total of 5 cards and 14 troops. If some people trade in early, it's going to be worth it to eliminate you for your cards. So you can see right here the benefit of just taking a continent so early is not with the detriment of no longer being spread out, being extremely weak, basically hoping the other players don't decide to attack you. The only thing that is going in your benefit right now is the red player, who would obviously want to retaliate into you after attacking you really hard, is unable to do so. Again, the 8 is guarding you and the 11 is guarding you. The red player is lucky and gets a nice trade-in on 3. And out of anger, because again, like you just went all out against them, they decide to hit the purple player really, really hard. Now this actually presents an opportunity for you. The card trade-in before was at 4 troops. Now it is going to be at 6 troops. So each card is worth about 2 troops right now. The purple player is at 5 troops right now. So what you should be doing is trading in a set right now, because you don't want the blue player eliminating you. And then what you should be doing is taking out the purple player. But you don't do this. And even though you had a set, this was a big mistake right here, because you're hoping other players are trading in. But look, the blue player is right here. All they need to do, and they have a 20 troops right here, they can just trade in, hit your Congo right here, leave a total of 4 troops, and then go down and hit your South Africa. Then put the remaining troops in, go out in a line like this and take you out. It'd be 100% roll, almost 100% effective, super easy. So you absolutely needed to trade in to eliminate purple in this line right here. You would have had about 11 troops right here instead by making that trade in to hit 10, 9, 8, maybe you lose 1 here, 6v2. That would have been an almost 100% roll. White is trading in, and now they're taking advantage of the purple player being extremely weak. So they're going up. They are going to be eliminating the purple player, and they are going to be getting the extra cards and troops at this time. So you really missed like a big opportunity here by not going for that kill. Now we can see the white player. Look, there are 43 troops right now. They have a nice line to take over the Europe continent. They're not really spread out as they're only located in this position, but since they weren't getting into conflicts with other players, they are in a really good spot right now. The only thing I dislike about their game is that they're leaving their 9 trapped right here. The orange player is also in a good spot right now, although they're leaving their 12 stack trapped. So I'm actually thinking the blue player is in the best spot right now. There's so much that they could be doing. What the blue player should be doing, and this is the correct decision, is they should be placing all of their troops down here and then eliminating you. It's just so worth it for your cards. Like the card trade-in's like what, like a 10? So if the card trade-in's at 10, that means each card's worth about 3. So it's 15 troop value, and you only have 13 troops. And now the trap value is 12. So now you have the blue player should be eliminating you. They make a huge mistake by not doing so, and you get very, very lucky. So now you have some life into your game. You now have to trade in right here. And you do so. You also take the extra 2 troops in Argentina, which is good. And now you are deciding to eliminate the red player, because again, they were your greatest enemy this game. Because again, they're at 2 troops right now. It's very likely that another player may have eliminated them instead. So you do a good job. You get the kill down onto the red player. You're not going to be able to trade in though. However, given that the set is going to be at 15 right now, but orange has to trade in at this time, that's going to put the set value at 20. This is going to make each card worth about 6 to 7 troops. So 6 times 5 is about 30, so it's almost worth it to take you out. However, if the black player missed killing you when they were just going for Africa, they're definitely not going to be making a play killing you at this point, going like around the map. They just don't have enough troops, as they have to move a lot. The orange player has their troops trapped right here, and they're continuing to trap their troops. This is a common mistake in progressive games right here, where again, you can't leave your troops trapped like this. And the white player is, again, leaving their troops really just spread out, focused on holding a continent for themselves. The white player on their turn, again, focusing their one-tracked mine, is again taking over the European continent. And then finally, the blue player is just focused on just getting one more card and passing, waiting for the next moment. We then come to your turn when you're able to trade in, and you make the final mistake of the game right here, where you're deciding about what you want to do. And I am just going to pause this right here. You are deciding that you want to be eliminating the white player. This is because the white player is the weakest player on the board and has a total of 4 cards right now. You can easily take out these troops right here with your 7. Then you're going to have to do, you have to also attack North Africa, so that's going to be 1 troop. So effectively the black player has 37 troops. You have to take out 37, and given that 4 is right here, we subtract 4, that's 33. We have to take out 33 troops with a 28. This means you have to have significantly positive rolls, given that even when you take out a territory, you're going to be leaving at least 1 troop there afterwards to hold the territory. So it's going to be highly risky. Also, given the trade-in is 20, the next one's going to be 25. This means the value of each card is going to be worth about 8 troops or so. White player has 36 troops, so from a math standpoint, their value is worth 32, 33. So it's almost worth it, but given the overall risk associated with this, it's actually bad to be making the attack. So as you continue going through this move right here and attacking, you notice that the very first roll that you make right here is highly negative. You lose 9 troops. Once this happens, you should have just stopped right away, because there's no way that you're going to be effective right here. Look, you have 10 troops left and they have 16. It's just not possible. At this point, you're just kind of, a term that used in poker, pot committed, where like you just got to go for it anyway. So you're trying to get lucky at this time, like with attacking, but you just went all in on attacking white, that you just ended up giving the game away to the next player. In this case, this is orange. They are going to be able to eliminate the white player, get their or even eliminate blue and white actually, get their cards and take the game. They had a very clutch set on 3. But this isn't because like the orange player was playing well. It's because it was a little bit of an overextension by you taking out like a white when it was too risky to do so. But the initial items that you did like earlier this game, which involved getting to a huge conflict with the red player, not noticing that you had the ability to eliminate the purple player when you could have done a trade-in, setting yourself up to be too weak to have the blue player to eliminate you, and then failing to do so, and then finally just taking too much of like a risky play, taking out the white player, is what kind of really cost you this game. Remembering the key principles of progressive, which is taking out players when it is worth it for their cards, spreading out as you can, and not really going for continents unless it's very safe and easy for you to do so. The diplomacy of allowing players to move out of continents that you're trying to take to make it easier for them. All of these things are going to be kind of key as you continue your journey to becoming a better risk player. So we'll just speed ahead a little bit like towards the end, and we can see right here that the orange player takes this game. I hope you guys all enjoyed this risk episode, everyone. Make sure to check out Uppish Pidgeon on YouTube. This is OliveXC signing off.